So the shiur is sponsored in honor of the Davises by their family. So should be doing the Shema. Okay, so we are on page 4, and we need to finish up the Rabbi Shimshon Raphael Hirsch and then Dvarim Rabbah. So Rabbi Shimshon Raphael Hirsch spoke about the fact that really after that it's such a sad commentary that after 1600 years of the world, basically you have only one person who is worthy or semi-worthy to save the world, which was very, very sad. And then he talks a lot about the shachat. So now we are okay, it's the line starts with Hamashchit. So if you look at Rashar Hirsch, page 4.
Can you just review what happened last week because we weren't here?
Oh, wow. That's one sentence? One sentence? Okay. A debate between the commentaries regarding the character of Noach, why was he saved, and how come he was not able to perpetuate the leadership to his children, and how come that he did not become the founder of the Jewish people. That's Be'erech in a very general way. So Rabbi Shimshon Raphael here says 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, the 11th line from the beginning. Rabbi Shimshon Raphael here, page 4. So if you look at this line, which starts with Hamashchit, and go towards the end, where it says Ora'at HaYesod Shel Shachat. You see the line that starts with Shachat? Yeah. Okay, so that's the 12th line. Shachat means bore, like a hole, or a pit. Ulam, הקורא שחת איננו מתכוון לטובה. Someone who digs a pit, not necessarily have something good in his mind, he's doing that in order to what? רצונו לתת מכשול לפני ההולך בדרך. לעצור אותו בדרכו אל מטרתו ולהביא עליו אבדון. Someone who digs a pit in the middle of the street, he doesn't want to use it as a refrigerator, okay? Or to hide things there. He wants you to what? To fall into it, meaning he wants to cause you a damage. Shachat karov leshochad. Shachat is very similar to the word shochad, which means what? Bribe. הנותן שוחד קורא שוחה לדיין בדרכו לשפוט צדק. Someone who gives bribe to the judge, in a way he puts an obstacle in his way to what? To achieve judgment and justice. הוא מעוור את עיניו, he blinds his eyes ועוצר אותו בדרכו. מרחיקו מן המטרה ושם לפניו מכשול. So he basically tried to deviate him from the goal, and he puts in front of him an obstacle. וזו גם הוראת שחט, מבחינת המעשה ומבחינת התוצאה. תהליך החיים מתפתח עד כה ללא תקלה, השחיטה מפסיקה את הדרך הקושרת את הגוף עם העולם החיצוני, ומספקת לו אוויר ומזון. והחותך קנה וושת קורא שוחה בדרך שחיטה. This is, by the way, for a German Jew, a scholar in the 19th century, to know Hebrew so much, it's incredible. Sometimes I feel ashamed reading his stuff, but and some of it you can argue that it's like more sounds like, not exactly it's the same. But he wants to say that the word shachat, ki shchit kol basar et darko al haaretz, it's not to destroy. We spoke about it last week. It's about what is to, in a way, to put like an obstacle in front of humanity or a person from accomplishing his or her goal. And he wanted to claim that also the word shachat, not shachat, shachat, to slaughter, it's also the same way in a way. It's putting an obstacle in front of life. This animal was supposed to live, and now I'm stopping this animal to fulfill its potential to some extent. So the idea of shachat is what? Is to stop you from what? From being able to fulfill your full potential. And that's what the generation of the flood did. They basically put an obstacle in front of them and in front of Noach to stop him from trying to fulfill his potential. And then he says, כך יובן ששחט קשור על פי רוב עם דרך. השחית כל בשר את דרכו, his path, על הארץ. הוראת השחט בדרך כלל להיעצר וליפול בדרך אל הישע. Meaning humanity is on its path, and they, what do? משחיתים את הדרך. They basically what? Deviate from the path. הביטוי השחית דרך מוכיח שכל דרך החיים, גם המגמה הפונה אל החושניות מוליכה כשהיא לעצמה, רק אל הישע המוסרי. השחתה מוסרית היא שוחה, הקרויה בדרך אל הישע. So he claims something very interesting. He says we are all of us, all humanity is on its path for salvation. After Adam and Chava, we are all trying to what? To find the path for Yeshua. The thing is that the Yetzer Hara or other people, what do they do? Korim shucha. They basically dig a pit and people fall. Some people get injured, some people die. So not only do they do something wrong, they are causing others to do what? To fall into that pit and to basically end their path or end their journey for salvation. Hamas hu gezel, she'eino yotze b'dayanim. So now he's talking about Hamas, not our Hamas. The Hamas of stealing. It's gezel, it's like thievery. She'eineno yotze b'dayanim. The dayanim cannot force you to give it. איש חמאס איננו חייב בידי אדם, אך הוא הורס את חברו לאט לאט, בחמאס חוזר ונשנה. Meaning you steal, what did they do? According to the Midrash, הם גזלו פחות משווה פרוטה. They took less than פרוטה. And basically, just imagine, you are selling 3 apples, okay? 3 apples in the shuk. 1,000 people come and each one of them take what? Just a little bite. What do you have at the end? Nothing. So I didn't take the entire apple, I just ate a little bit, and you ate a little bit, and basically that's what they did. And Hamas, in the spiritual connotation, is what? Is always taking little bit, and then at the end, you are becoming corrupt, totally corrupt. So, then I'm skipping to the 3rd line, from the end, והנה הוא אומר כאן, ותשחט הארץ לפני האלוקים ותמלא הארץ חמס. תחילה הייתה זו השחתה מוסרית. At the beginning of the demise of the generation of the flood, it started with what? With moral corruption. פשעים שאין החברה האזרחית חוששת להם. Crimes that basically society is not that concerned about. Just imagine. If someone comes to the Dayan, hey, he took a bite from the apple less than shve pruta, the Dayan will tell him what? Forget about it, no, move on, right? אם הנוער פרוץ, but if the youth has no limits, no boundaries, וחיי הנישואים רקובים, and married life is totally rotten, עדיין כך סבורים הבריות, יכול המסחר לשגשג. בסדר, but the economy is good, right? Read my lips, right? It's all about the economy, right? So even if there is some moral corruption, if the economy is good, we are good. משא ומתן יתנהל ביושר. אולם משנשחטה הארץ לפני האלוקים, לא יועילו כל תקנות הציבור להציל את החברה מאבדון. לעולם לא תמלא הארץ גזל, החברה תתגונן מפני גזלנים, בכוח עונשים ומאסר, אך החברה תובעת בחמאס, בעוול הנעזר בעורמה. אין הגנה מפני חמאס. אם אין מצפון האדם מייסרו לפני השם, ההשחתה המוסרית הורסת את המצפון ועמו נהרס גם השלום האזורי. רב שמשון רפאל הירש says something that every pluralistic, universalist person, scholar would say. Basically he says that the beginning of demise is what? Corruption. Now, by the way, don't think only about, what we are experiencing, if we are experiencing, whatever it is. The demise of Rome, of the Roman Empire, started exactly like there. The demise of the Babylonian Empire, very similar. I would even say that what we see, there are many, many reasons, but what we see in front of our eyes with the United States of America, we also can attribute at least some of it. I'm not saying there's no one reason for everything, okay? There's always accumulations of many different reasons. But there is no question that hashchata musarit, when you are morally corrupt, you can't see clearly. And if you don't punish corruption, it will trickle into the whole society, because if it's okay for you, it's okay for me, and it's okay for you, and then ish et re'eu chaim balau. I will tell you, it's very interesting. I was thinking about it when I gave once a speech about education. You know, our children, talking about children in the 2000 end, they heard and saw so many events of corruptions of people that they should have trust in the rabbinic arena, in the leadership arena, in prime minister's arena, in judges, in dayanim, in politicians, with what? Army, everything. Just imagine. Start with, I'll mention his name, there's no Lashon Hara here, okay? Starts with Clinton. Okay, let's start. Clinton was what? 1990... 92 to 2000, okay? You have the President of the United States who says to you, I have no idea who is ML. No idea. And then he's about to be impeached because he lied. In front of millions of people, he lied. So I need to trust someone who will make his decisions to send people to the army, to do financial decisions, and he is lying. Okay? I'm taking someone like with tremendous influence. And then here, even in the rabbinic arena, unfortunately, really, really unfortunately, we witness in the last 20-something years a president in jail, a former chief rabbi in jail, a minister in jail, and a prime minister in jail. I'm not talking about Olmert. And if you are a child, and I'm telling you, there is a government, and there is a structure, and there is authority, and those people know what they are saying. They do.
Do I trust?
Exactly. Meaning, when sometimes we say, oh, the young generation, they don't like institutions, they don't like authority. Rega, what did we do to contribute to it? And again, I'm not doing now an analysis of our society and the problems. I'm just saying that when Rabbi Shimshon Raphael Hirsch talks about moral corruption, and when people also try to be oblivious to it and try to hide it, to sweep it under the carpet, it's not going to go away. It's exactly the opposite. It's just going to grow. So what I'm saying is that it's not that. It's very easy and simple for us to blame someone else. But basically what Rabbi Shimshon Raphael Hirsch says is that if you don't react in a very severe way to a moral corruption, you need to know that you gave a hand to the demise of the society. It might be in levels, not that you're going to destroy society, but it's going to go down, 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 down until you have the flood. Look, I am sure that the first guy who came up with the idea that I'm going to steal from you less than shve pruta was probably a brilliant guy, right? He says, I'm going to take a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to. I know many of us do it, but be careful. Sometimes it can be gezel. You go to a store that sells pitzuchim. The guy tastes from everything. And then he comes out with what? With 100 grams of shkedim. So why did you taste 25 different things? Just to make sure that they are fresh, right? Yeah. You need to be careful with that. I'm not saying it's gezel, but I'm saying that sometimes you need to maybe ask the mocher, look, can I taste a few things? I'm not sure I'm going to buy, but maybe get some kind of a consent, okay? And not to have dinner there, and go out with 100 grams. I know all the teimot in Costco and all of that. Be careful. What I'm saying is, it was brilliant. I'm just going to take a little thing. I'm going to take a little bite. I'm going to take one shaked, one almond, okay? Nothing will happen. No one should get mad. But when 2,000 people do that, you empty me. I have nothing. So the idea is, I will tell you one thing that I will tell you that I it's not like but I remember all our road trips or whatever. If we will need to stop and the bathroom stop or whatever it is, we will try to do it in a place that we can buy something, and then to go to the bathroom, because someone is cleaning this bathroom, and this someone is being paid, and he's being paid through what? Through buying in the store. If you don't buy in the store and you just use the bathroom and you don't leave anything, someone is going to do something for you for free. So I'm not saying that this is halakha b'shulchan aruch, but this is halakha in being, hopefully being someone who is aware that things cost. And you can't do that, because if 1,000 people will do it, you know what they're going to do? To tell no one can go into this bathroom unless you buy, or they will lock you. Exactly. And you know what? By the way, just as a side note, because I did my research a little bit in my MBA about Starbucks. Now in many Starbucks, you get a code only if you get a coffee, not the $30 bear thing. But you look at me like you didn't see that? Starbucks came up with a special cup, looks like a bear, and it's $30. And Baruch Hashem, that there are so many crazies who went ahead and buy it, okay? To the extent that they didn't have anymore. So, but they put now a code in order to use their bathroom. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm talking about the bathroom in the shul, but you need to buy and to have a cheshbonit and a receipt, and then on the receipt there is the number, or they tell you if you buy, but you can't just go there. Or some people basically, created a settlement there. They came in the morning and they left at night, and they had 1 cup of coffee. Bemet. Meaning, again, those things are not stealing, but it's corruption. It's moral corruption, or we'll put it, it's on the border of not being ethical and moral.
Yeah, Rabbi, if the rabbi is talking about eating a bracha, if it's not a zayit or something like that, you don't have to make a bracha. So, it's...
Say a bracha on everything. No, זה ברכה האחרונה. ברכה ראשונה on everything. Why? אסור לו לאדם שיהנה מן העולם בלא ברכה. ואם נהנה כאילו מעל. Stealing. Like stealing. If you do not recite a bracha on even a little thing, it's like stealing. ברכה האחרונה, you are right, there are measures. Okay? You have רביעית, you have כזית, you have כביצה, you have ככותבת, all sorts of measures. Yes?
Of this is that some people who own the store say, you know what, if they know they can use the bathroom, they're much more likely to buy something. Not everybody, but I will get more business if I let them use the bathroom. That's one thing. And the nuts, I want to taste it because sometimes it's too salty and I can't buy it otherwise.
Okay.
So if it's just a few things, not a lot like.
So the question is, where is I think what you said is what we call market logic. Okay? Every market has their own logic. And yes, I agree with you. Sometimes the store owner says, let's be as nice as we can so people can come in, they feel comfortable, they go to the bathroom, and they also will buy other things as well. Okay, very good, that's one. But the frequency that not you, but people do it. And it might be that was the original idea of the owner, but you know what? After 2 months, people do use the bathroom, but they don't buy anything. Okay, so he might change his mind. Again, I'm not giving a psak halacha here. This is also not the shiur. I'm just saying that the idea of moral corruption, if we don't stop it, it will bring the demise of the society. By the way, it's not Rabbi Shimshon Raphael Hirsch only. It's the Nevi'im. The Nevi'im already warned us. If you start what? Not feeding the widow and the orphan, not making sure that the people who do not have a VIP are being treated correctly and properly, then God will be very upset with us. So it's not only Rabbi Shimshon Raphael Hirsch, he just developed it to the דור המבול. מה זה? כן, בתורה, בוודאי. Yeah, in the Torah. Yeah. ולגר אשר בקרבך. Sure. Yeah. To the extent, by the way, the Rambam says in הלכות שביתת יום טוב, I think it's פרק א', he says that, we have a simcha, during Chagim you need to eat, drink, and women is clothes and jewelry, and the babies are candies. But he says, everyone who does not have the widow, the orphan, the convert, all the people around this table, הרי זה שמחת קריסו. קריסו. קריסו, my belly. This is the happiness of your own belly. This is not the happiness of Yom Tov. You enjoy the food, and those people don't. So that's not Simchat Yom Tov. So you can have the best wine and the best steak, but if you don't have, it's called them aniyim ve'umlalim, that's not a Simchat Yom Tov. So this is the idea of what? Of how to take the blessing that you have, and not only to be worthy of it, but also to transform it into generosity to others. Okay. Now let's talk, and that's the last thing we're going to see with this source sheet, is, we'll finish page number 5. Noach mul sh'ar manigei ha'am. Noach versus the other leaders, because that's really what we are trying to achieve here. In Dvarim Rabbah, on page 5, Noach amar למשה, אני גדול ממך, שניצלתי מדור המבול. Now, obviously, that conversation did not take place, okay? The Midrash is just basically trying to compare Noach versus Moshe. Now, why Noach versus Moshe? Page 5. Dvarim Rabbah, page 5. Why Noach versus Moshe? What's the similarities between them? Two saved people, two are leaders, but why dafka Noach and Moshe? Why not Noach and Avraham, Noach and David HaMelech? Moshe saved Am Israel, and Noach saved humanity. They died, but he saved himself and created humanity, okay? But there is more. The what? Oh, so there is a river, there is a teiva, right? There is a teiva, and basically, so the Midrash puts them together. So the Midrash says the following. It says, Noach amar למשה אני גדול ממך. I'm greater than you, שניצלתי מדור המבול, that I was saved from the generation of the flood. אמר למשה, אני נתעליתי יותר ממך. I am greater than you. Why? אתה הצלת את עצמך. You saved yourself. ולא היה בך כוח להציל את דורך. And you didn't have the strength and the power to what? To save your generation. אבל אני הצלתי את עצמי והצלתי את דורי כשנתחייבו כליה בעגל. I saved myself and I saved the entire Am Israel after the golden calf.
Moshe said, Mecheni now. Take the words Mecheni and you get made Noach.
But also, don't even go there. Mecheni versus Vayimach et kol hayekum. In Torah Mabul. Vayimach et kol hayekum. Yeah? Yeah? No, I just made it up now. No, the pasuk is there, but you just gave me an association that I didn't think about it. I tried to listen and to think at the same time. But it's true. By the way, Moshe is not only a tikkun for Noach. The Zohar says that Moshe was in the flood. That Moshe Rabbeinu was in the Mabul because he was Noten Torah. B'shegam hu basar, which is Gimatria Moshe. You're with me? Or I lost you somewhere? Lost me? Lost you? Lost me or lost you? Okay. So basically it says that after the Mabul, really before the Mabul, it says B'shegam hu basar. Bet shin gimel mem. What does it mean B'shegam hu basar? So the Zohar says B'shegam ze Moshe. But that Moshe was in the Mabul and he was saved in order to later on save the Jewish people. Which has a lot of thought behind it, not for now because we are not in a shiur Kabbalah here, but not that I will be the teacher, but the idea that there are similarities between Noach and Moshe. So Moshe says to Noach, you saved yourself, but you didn't save your generation. I saved myself and the generation in Chet HaEgel, שנאמר, וינחם השם על הרעה אשר דיבר לעשות לעמו. That Hashem basically, quote unquote, regretted what he planned to do to his people. Now, by the way, there is something here very interesting. Moshe said, I saved myself and my generation at the time of the Egel. Since when Moshe was in danger? Exactly the opposite. Hashem told Moshe what? I'll make from you a big nation. So where was Moshe in danger?
He said, don't make me. I'll go with them. So.
Oh, So here is the point of the Midrash, exactly. Moshe was never in danger. Moshe put himself in danger. Moshe realized if there is no OUisrael, there is no Moshe Rabbeinu. So he put himself in danger in order to be able to what? To save his people. Exactly. That's exactly the point of the Midrash. He put himself in danger saying to Hashem, erase my name, erase me if you don't listen to me. So then he says, Mashal lema davar domeh. So it's a parable for what? Leshtei sfinot, shayu bayam. So the two boats that were in the ocean, והיו בתוכן שני קברניטים, and there were two captains. אחד הציל את עצמו ולא הציל את ספינתו, one saved himself and didn't save his boat, ואחד הציל את עצמו ואת ספינתו. ולמי היו מקלסין? לא לאותו שהציל את עצמו ואת ספינתו. So obviously the captain that saved himself and the boat, he will be praised, he will have the glory. כך נוח לא הציל אלא את עצמו, אבל משה הציל את עצמו ואת דורו, אוי ואת עלית על כולנו. Now I just want to ask you a question. Whenever you learn Midrash, this is a Midrash Mu'char, this is maybe even 9th to 10th century, but the Midrash basically says that the difference between Moshe and Noach is what? That Noach was able only to save himself, and Moshe saved himself and his generation, right? And then we have the parable with the two boats and the two captains. What does it add to what we already know? You with me? A parable is come to, not to say the obvious, okay? If it's to say the obvious, I don't need it. Okay, basically, if we understand the parable as, Moshe is Captain B, which is the one who saved himself and the boat, and Noach is Captain A, which basically saved himself. So it's same thing you said before. What's the idea? What's the idea of a boat and a captain in an ocean? What's this metaphor means? Sorry, I'm giving you a hard time today. The what?
Parable holds water.
The what?
Parable holds water.
Yes.
Moshe was saved from the water. He was saved from the water.
Uh-huh.
And, nobody was saved from the water with Noah. They all drowned.
Yes, but I can say he was saved and no one else, and Noach was saved and his family.
But Noah wasn't saved. Moshe should have been. Moshe, yeah.
Meaning, the parable needs to add something. Yes.
I was just gonna say, so, but Noah did save some future generation, he saved it.
True. So what's the idea of a boat and a captain?
It was his boat.
Little bit more than that. Little bit more than that. Why? Okay. Now I feel like a little silly, but yes.
Captain's the leader.
Okay, so leadership we got, but we got it here, right? We got it here, and we got the understanding of responsibility. Try to remember a little bit Reb Shimshon Raphael Hirsch too. Why would you go on a boat? To get somewhere. At that time, they didn't go on a cruise, right? They went from A to B to do business, right? So they have a path, and they have a captain that should lead them from A to B. Now, Noach he didn't bring humanity with him, right? But I would like to claim that it said he saved himself, but not his what? But not his generation, which means, Rega, that he did not, basically the generation stayed where? He sunk. Moshe's generation basically sunk because God says what? Exactly the same thing. Heref mimeni ve'ashmidem. Right, God forbid. Leave me alone and let me destroy them. And Moshe is taking them from the depth of the ocean to some extent and bring them where? To Eretz Israel, to the... Exactly. To Matan Torah, to Eretz Israel. He brings them to fulfill their destiny. So the mashal is more than just you didn't save your generation. It's not only that you didn't save your generation, the goal changed. So that's the Midrash. So that's Moshe versus Noach. Now, Rashi says, בדורותיו, יש מרבותינו דורשים אותו לשבח. So some of our rabbis basically says that Noach is a praiseworthy person. כל שכן שלא היה בדור צדיקים היה צדיק יותר. So if he was in a different generation of a tzadikim, he will be even righteous, more righteous. There's no righteous there, right? So there is more righteous. Okay, more righteous. ויש שדורשים אותו לגנאי. And some people obviously criticize him. They say, לפי דורו היה צדיק, based on his generation he was righteous, ואילו היה בדורו של אברהם, לא היה נחשב לכלום. If he was in Avraham's generation, he was a nothing. Now, it's not like he was not Avraham. He was nothing. Nothing? Noach is tzaddik, tamim. Okay, I understand היה בדורותיו, but בכל זאת, את האלוקים יתהלך נוח. What does it mean if he was in Avraham's generation, he was a nothing?
He would not take initiative.
Okay, he will not take initiative, unlike Avraham, who definitely took initiative. It doesn't mean he would not be righteous. It just means that what? That he would not be chosen to be the leader. Because in Avraham's generation, in order to be a leader, you had to choose God first before he chooses you. He chooses you.
But that was only Avraham.
That was Avraham's generation. Exactly. God did not pick Avraham. Avraham picked God first. And then God says, you know what? Seems to be a good guy. I'll take him. So the idea is that Noach, who didn't do a thing without Hashem telling him what to do, he will be nothing. He will be like all the others. You know what? He might be Chanoch. And God will take him. But he will not make any impression. Now, the what?
I said in Hebrew today, don't you see something like Baal Tushia?
Baal Tushia, it sounds like very talented. Oh, to take the initiative, you say, רגע. בעל היוזמה. כן, בעל היוזמה. Yes.
But from the Pshat, we don't know that Abraham chose Hashem. The first thing we see, Hashem says to him, that's a medrash. Why was he chosen?
Before that, he left Ur Kasdim.
Okay, so did Nahor.
Oh, okay, very good. But he continued. After Nahor died, he continued to go Eretz Canaan. So I agree with you, by the way. The Midrash definitely insert a lot of the blanks because we don't know who is he, where did he come from, what's going on with him. And the Rambam has a chapter on who is Avraham and why was he chosen. Yes?
When you're talking about Abraham chose God first, and then God chose Abraham, what is the makor for that? Because there are many who would say, no, Hashem put that into Abraham's head, and then Abraham chose. He had to choose or not, but it's really from Hashem first.
I know there are some people who will say that if I follow the Rambam and many of the Midrashim, that's not the way to think. The Rambam says, the Rambam says, Avraham started wandering around what's going on in this world, and he found God. And the Rambam says, and God did not talk to him, and did not reveal himself to him until the age of 70. Yes?
But Noah also was righteous in his generation, so while the other people were engaging in corruption and other types of things, Noah did not. So I don't know if he spoke literally to God and understood God, but he obviously understood a sense of morality.
That's what I said. I think that this Midrash does not say that Noach was nothing, like corrupt. He could still be righteous and wonderful person, but he will not be chosen by God. I think that's the point. That not to destroy his character. He might be a very good guy, but not a leader.
So I can't totally agree with that, because if you have a generation that is so corrupt, and you are plucking the popularity thing there and doing your own thing, which is morality and ethics, and there's a whole generation, you are in fact a leader. It's very difficult to do what Noach did.
So we spoke about that a little bit in the prior weeks, talking about the fact that we are not even sure that Noach was able to influence his family. Meaning, was his family saved because of Noach, like they were grandfathered in, or that he was really able to inspire them? According to the opinions that he didn't, we're talking about a very nice guy, but that's it. Zero ability to influence anyone. Right? And by the way, I will just say another thing that, when we were children, we looked at it and we all would like to quote it. Oh, Noach bedorotav, only... All this quote-unquote passing judgment by comparing one generation to another, it's very difficult. Every generation is very different. The challenges are very different. And it's very hard to derive conclusions from one set of circumstances to a total different set of circumstances. If you talk, for example, about the generation of Avraham, we're talking about tremendous desire for avodah zarah and for power, not corruption and immorality, where in the generation of the flood is different. So, bichlal, it's a little hard to compare. Okay, let's just try to finish up today. You know what? Okay. את האלוקים יתהלך נוח, says Rashi, ובאברהם הוא אומר יתהלך לפניי. So it's different. With Noach it says את האלוקים יתהלך נוח, in Avraham it says יתהלך לפניי, walk in front of me. אשר התהלכתי לפניו. נוח היה צריך סעד לתומכו, אבל אברהם היה מתחזק ומהלך בצדקו מאליו. Noach needed what? A cane. Okay, he needed someone to help him, to push him. And Avraham was able to do it by himself. Again, well, what we call self-starter or someone that needs to be told. Now, again, it does not mean that he was a bad guy. It does not mean that he was a terrible person. The only thing is that he will never get a promotion. That's it. In the boss review, 3 times a year, the boss will tell Noach, you are a good guy, you are exactly where you need to be. And with Avraham, he would say, oh my, you are going to be the CEO just a minute from now. Yes?
When is the earliest time that happened, that God chose Moshe? What would you say is the earliest time?
The earliest time?
In his life.
I think it already started when he went out to the palace. According to some midrashim, it was really before he was born that Miriam had a prophecy that she will have a brother and her parents will have a son that will be the Moshiach. And also the Itztegnanim, the astrologists of Pharaoh, also had some kind of a vision like that.
So when he killed the Egyptians, that was okay?
If it was okay,
I mean, he was chosen,
we say that he killed him because he saw injustice. Yeah, because he saw injustice. Yes.
Also, we say Vanita, setting down roots for the next generation. So Noach did what? A kara, which is literally what could happen. He became drunk. Whereas with Abraham, I don't know who says this, but I heard it. Ashel, Achila,
Shtia lina,
and
right.
Lina. He corrected the sin of Adam, he corrected the sin of Noach, and he corrected the sin of Lot.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So that is what he left.
Uh-huh.
Noach left a kara.
Interesting. The comment was that Noach planted a kerem, a winery, which is luxury. You can have it, you cannot have it, it's fine. And Avraham left an eshel, which means a tree, but not only a tree. The abbreviation is achila shtia lina, eating, drinking, and sleeping. Okay, just take a look at the Ramban on Italech Lefanai. Says Ramban, ללכת בדרך אשר רואה אותך, כתם אחרי השם אלוקיכם תלכו ואותו תיראו. כי המצווה לאחוז דרכו קודם שיורנו, יאמר התהלך לפניי. והבא אחרי הצבא, יאמר אחרי השם תלכו. העניין שבשניהם ללכת אחרי השם, נראה ממנו לבדו ולעשות מה שיצווה. Which means, I'm reading quickly, I'll try to explain slowly. Ramban basically says, התהלך לפניי means, go in front of me even if you don't know what I'm about to tell you. Which means, you need to trust that it will. I will tell you. By the way, who else did it? Am Israel. Naaseh v'nishma. How can you do without knowing what? You're accepting upon yourself that whatever I'm going to be told, I am going to do it. Says Rashar Hirsch. יתהלך לפניי, לא יתהלך איתי. Doesn't say go with me, but rather in front of me. Which means, I'm skipping a bit, נמצא פירושו כאן, בכל דרכיך דע את השם. המציב לכל נברא תכלית ומידה, ומעניק חירות רק במסגרת החוק. מטיבו של אדם המתהלך לפני השם, הוא דומה באופיו לכל הנבראים, ואילו אברהם יסגל לו את הטבע הזה בחירות וברצון חופשי. האופי הזה של מלאכת הבורא איננו אלא תמים, הצור תמים פועלו. הוא צר צורה לכל נוצר, ובה קבע לכל נברא מידה ותכלית וגבול, ובעצם הדבר הזה הטביע במלאכתו את אופי התמימות. Okay, so basically what Shar here says, Hashem says to Avraham, יתהלך לפניי, not יתהלך איתי. יתהלך איתי means what? Give me a hand. Give me a hand, I'll walk with you. When you go to someone and you want to jog together, you want to walk together, מה אתם אומרים בעברית? בוא נלך ביחד, let's walk together, בוא איתי, come with me. Here it's not come with me, it's come in front of me. Meaning I'm here, I'm letting you lead. Which by the way, it's tremendous responsibility and a great compliment to us. Yes? לא, זה משהו אחר. זה ציווי... What do you mean? Yeah, no, there's something else. There, Moshe said to God, I'm not going there anymore. Why? Not only because he doesn't believe me. He makes life for the Jewish people miserable. And this is why Hashem was not upset with him. That's Okay, last one. ילקוט שמעוני. עת האלוקים מתהלך נוח. רבי יהודה אומר למלך שהיו שני בנים, אחד גדול ואחד קטן. So a parable to a king that has two children, one older, one younger. ואמר לקטן, הלך עמי, ולגדול אמר, הלך לפניי. So to the little one he says, you come with me, and to the older one he says, what? You go first. כך אברהם שהיה כוחו יפה, יתהלך לפניי ויהיה תמים. אברהם, that has strength, Hashem says to him, what? יתהלך לפניי, you are like my oldest son. אבל נוח שהיה כוחו רע. What is כוחו רע? weak. עת האלוקים יתהלך נוח. רבי נחמיה אומר, לאוהבו של מלך, so he brings a different parable, someone who is the king's beloved person, שהיה משתקע בטיט. So he sunk into cement. הציץ המלך וראה אותו, so the king glanced over and saw him, אמר לו, עד שאתה משתקע בטיט, בוא ואלך עמי. עד הוא דכתיב את האלוקים יתהלך נוח. ולמה אברהם דומה? לאוהבו של מלך שראה את המלך מהלך במבואות האפלים, והתחיל מאיר לו דרך חלון, אמרו לו, עד שאתה מאיר לי דרך חלון, בוא ואר לפניי. This is a beautiful, beautiful midrash. Avraham is being compared to someone who is walking parallel to the king. And the king is walking in a dark alley. And Avraham takes a candle and kindle it where? At the window from the other side in order to bring light a little bit to the dark alley. And the king says to him, don't do that through the window. Come to my path and walk in front of me. This midrash is doing something incredible. Who brings the divine light to the darkest alleys? Us. In a way, without us, so to speak, Hashem will continue to walk in a dark alley. This is a powerful midrash. It's even more than that. It's to bring God's light into this world to us first, and then to bring it to the nations. Can you imagine such a midrash? This is so powerful and gives so much power to us, to the extent that without us, Hashem who created all the luminaries, okay? המאיר לארץ והדרים עליה. He needs our little candle in order to show the path. So, in conclusion, there is no conclusion. This is the beauty of the commentaries, that you can see different variation, but also I think you can see, and this is what I love about trying to look at so many different mefarshim, that everyone has their own angle, but not only that they have their own angle, the focus, the emphasis is sometimes on a different word, but then also to try to understand Safrut Chazal, what Chazal had in mind, and also not only that, it's, I think, is the idea of leadership. How do we view leaders? Okay, and by the way, if you look at the leaders that are known leaders, and they are the leaders that we always praise, they are all doers. They are all having some kind of an initiative. Even Yitzchak, that is being criticized to be passive, digging wells, and not only digging wells, digging the same wells as his father, not as a sign of being passive, but rather it's harder. Everyone wants to be the first one to find something, right? To dig the same thing that your father dug, and not to ask for any glory, but to do the right thing, even if it does not give you any glory. That's what you want.
It's also easier than it was there before. You don't have to initiate it.
It's dirty and it's stones. They put a lot of stones. Vayesatumum plishtim. According to the uncle, it says vayetamemum plishtim, meaning you couldn't see it. In a way, you dig, you find water. Matzanu mayim. Here there's no matzanu mayim, matzanu slaim. So, with that, we are going to end today. Next week we'll have a different topic.